help us to find that unity which is in your spirit.
On a cool October afternoon, relatives of those killed half a world away in Bali gathered to pay their last respects. They brought with them 202 white balloons, one for each person killed a year ago. There is grief here, but anger too, that no one warned of the terrorist threat in Bali. That, say some parents, would have saved their children's lives.
They weren't backpackers, they were going to stay on the holiday, you know, in a hotel, a very nice hotel. And if they knew that there was going to be trouble anywhere, they would not have gone. Definitely.
Every detail of this service was planned by the victims' families. About 800 people came, including Christian, Jewish, Hindu and Muslim leaders. The Foreign Secretary was there, and the Duke of Kent representing the Queen. They heard the names of each of the British victims read aloud.
Daniel Braden, Chris Bradford, Bettina Brands,
The choir sang a prayer by the South African Archbishop Desmond Tutu. It urged those here to remember that goodness is stronger than evil, love stronger than hate. As they sang, flowers were offered in memory of those killed. But as well as remembrance, this ceremony was also about moving forward from the terrible events last year.
Jesus said from the cross, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they are doing." A most extraordinary statement for one in great pain at almost his last human breath. We have to try to do the same.
For each British life lost, a photograph and a candle, lit by someone who loved them and misses them still. A quiet and dignified service for those who lost their lives in the most terrible way. Richard Lister, BBC News.
And we can cross live now to Trafalgar Square, where that British memorial service to the victims of the Bali attacks has just finished. Well, Jocelyn Waller chairs the UK Bali Bombing Victims Group. His 26-year-old son Ed was killed in the attack while on a rugby tour, and he joins me now. Jocelyn Waller, what did this service here today mean for you?
Well, it means a lot to us because this was put on by the group. I think a lot of them had felt that we've been slightly fobbed off in the past, that we hadn't really had the attention. This was a sort of an embarrassing event, but we pulled ourselves together, formed a group, gave ourselves, I would say, mutual comfort and support, and then began to look at the wider issues, try to rebuild our lives and that kind of thing. So that's what we've done, and today's service, I think, brought everything to a head, and I think there was a wonderful feeling of sort of fellowship and rebirth, I guess. There were tears in our eyes, but I think we're also able to smile and look to the future.
You say you've been fobbed off. Are you saying that you haven't received the support that you feel you needed?
Sorry?
You say that you've been fobbed off. Are you saying that you don't feel you've received the support you should have done?
Well, I think that, you know, right from the very start, it was very difficult for people to get information. You know, the Foreign Office lines were closed. It took a long time for the rescue effort of the British to mount itself, and it's really gone on like that. And you know, there hasn't been really any help, and so we've really had to do things for ourselves. And I think that's. But I do think there is now a recognition. The fact that the Foreign Secretary was here, Tessa Jowell, you know, the Prince of Wales has taken a very particular interest in this and has been very supportive. So I think that that's really changing, and you know, we can put that behind us now. But this is a terrible event. All these people were very young, very innocent. They weren't like soldiers. You know, they were just there playing rugby or an educational conference or having a nightcap after dinner, and they're burned to smithereens. It's a terrible thing, and this sort of thing should not happen. And so it was very good the Indonesians were here, showing that they are behind, you know, that's, if you like, the alliance against terrorism, which I think is now very strong around the world, and I think it's winning, and I think that's very good.
Were you tempted at all to travel to Bali for the memorial service there?
I didn't want to. We do, quite a number of the families have gone there, and I understand the events there have been very moving and very successful, so I'm very pleased about that. And you know, some of our group did manage to get some support actually from the Red Cross, which enabled them to go there, which was pretty wonderful actually. Some of us didn't want to go to Bali. I think it would have been too much. We're here, a lot of our friends are here. Many of us have got my sons, there must be 30 or 40 of my son's friends who came to this service. You know, I wanted to be with them, really.
Jocelyn Waller, we appreciate very much you joining us here this evening and send our sympathies to you.
Okay, thank you.